To me, and he would rap, and I would do the beatbox. The theme of my life is blessed with the curse, and the curse aspect of it was, like I said, I didn't smoke cigarettes, I didn't smoke weed, I didn't do anything. I'm 14 years old, and me and my man went to a robbery one night, and it was his birthday, and we came back and we split the money. I said, hey, take this, go get something nice for your birthday, whatever. And as I'm counting the money, it's the blood. I hit the blood, and I'm like, I was no longer focused on the money. I never felt like this. Like it just fucked me up. I'm like, the fuck. And I later found out that he laced the blood with crack. Why would you do that to a child? And he knew I looked up to him. I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Yo, Michael T. Porter here. Welcome to Rooted in Music TV, where everything that we talk about, everything that we discuss is rooted in music. Oh, man. This is a sad story about how DMX got hooked on crack. Did y'all hear that? I think DMX is probably one of the greatest artists that we know about. I don't think nobody's... Well, I'll put that back. There's a lot of great rappers, great commercial rappers, great indie rappers, great independent rappers, and great underground rappers, right? But as far as we know, as far as like mainstream, a household name, he's one of the greatest to ever do it. And you can tell his whole life been wrapped around smoking crack. Music lovers, how many of y'all like DMX? Y'all let me know. Drop a comment if Darkman X is your guy. Darkman, everything about his life been dark, running the streets in New York, but outside the robberies and going to jail, crack took a hold of his life, and that's a horrible feeling when something got a hold on you. We all go through, and I think that's so beautiful. I think that's my main reason why I fell in love with music, was because I can express myself and escape this messed up ass world. I didn't know DMX was smoking weed. Got hooked on crack that early. I didn't know he got hooked on crack that early, and by his a person he considered his older brother. They got a lot of snakes in here. There's a lot of snakes in this world, and I believe, and I think DMX touched on it. Can't play too much, I didn't get no copyright, but I believe he did touch on. If I'm not mistaken, he was jealous. The dude. Ron was his name, that laced his blunt with crack. He's the one that laced DMX's blunt with crack. Now, DMX said at the time he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't do anything. And, when somebody that you look up to, somebody that you care about, somebody that you look at as family, and they do that to you, it messes your whole mind up. It messes your whole perception of human beings up. It messes up your whole perception of life and how evil people can be. And I believe DMX touched on how his Ron, the dude that laced his weed, was hating on him. See, when you shining in this world, when you a celebrity like I am, and people know you, they bumping your jams, and you turn nothing into something, you're gonna get hated. You're gonna get hated by a lot of people because, when I'm rubbing shoulders with Nicki Minaj, when I'm rubbing shoulders with Drake and Taylor Swift, and I come back home, I would expect everybody to be like, man, you was out there with Taylor Swift and Drake, all the heavyweights, But when I come home, everybody me mugging. So that dude that DMX was hanging out with, he saw that DMX can rap. He saw that DMX had a lot of charisma. Saw that DMX was talented. DMX can act. DMX can write. DMX can do a lot of things. He's a very intelligent man. And early on, this man that he was smoking weed with seen that potential in DMX. And here's the thing, if DMX considered him an older brother, this man knew that DMX looked at him as family, as a big brother. And even even when DMX looked at you as a big brother, you still sprinkle crack in the blunt. You still get them hooked on drugs because you don't want to see your brother make it. DMX considered this man a brother, and he still put this poison in the blunt. He still laced the joint up with this crack to make sure his mind messed up. See, his so-called big brother Ron, he saw the potential in DMX, and that dude was a demon. See, a demon came into DMX's life and ruined his life. Even though DMX was highly famous, he was never happy because of his addiction. He was never happy because he gets more and more depressed because as each minute goes by, as each day go by, he's being defeated. And that's a horrible feeling when you're feeling defeated. And feeling defeated simply means no matter what you do, you can't get out this situation. No matter what you do, no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you ask God for a way out, no matter how angry you get, no matter how depressed you get, no matter how happy you get, no matter how much you try to avoid this thing, it has absolute control over your life. And that's essentially what happened to DMX. That's essentially what happened to DMX. Music lovers, we all know the sad story of DMX. He overdosed. Now, they said it was alcohol and other drugs, but, you know, he overdosed on drugs. Drugs ultimately took him out, and he was always praying. And I always wondered, how come his prayers wasn't answered? Was he doing stuff behind? See, we see him praying, but we don't know who DMX is behind closed doors. Who are these people behind closed doors? But I think genuinely DMX was asking for help. I don't know. You know, he was always speaking highly of God, speaking highly of Jesus, and it seemed like he could just never get that monkey off his back. And at that time, that's when crack was real potent, when DMX era, and this dude befriended DMX. You gotta watch your friends too. Let DMX's story be a tale of you really gotta watch who you hang around with. You gotta, and not only for adults, you gotta watch your kids. If you got kids, be sure to watch who your kids hang around with. It's influence, right? So he was influenced by his so-called bigger brother, and his bigger brother betrayed him. Got DMX hooked on crack at 14. This is a sad story. You could see the pain in DMX's. Well, he had shades on because you can hear the pain. You can see the pain in his facial expression. Even with the shades on, you can still see the pain. And reliving that moment, reliving how it all started. And I think that it was just traumatizing him. The drug itself, but how and why would somebody do that to you? Because he's a hater. You know, people will drug you up. That happens a lot in girls. If a girl is pretty and the guy feel like he can't get her, well, in his sick mind, he don't want nobody to have her. So he get her hooked on drugs, knowing that this is going to ruin her life, knowing she's going to be on the street, knowing she's going to be selling her body for it. And before you know it, she's going to be homeless. Before you know it, she's going to be homeless. Dudes will get them girls hooked on drugs, pimp them out, or get them hooked on drugs and let other dudes pimp them out, or they renegades, they sell their bodies just to get a fix. They losing their teeth, they losing their hair. Yeah. There's a lot of evil people, but music lovers, we got to continue to be positive. And so grateful that music exists. So grateful we're able to express ourselves. And even if you're going through something, man, write it down. Don't hold it in. Pray on it, write it down, put it in a song. Shoot. It's not good to hold stuff in all the time, you know, especially as men, we like to hold stuff. Yeah, I'm tough. But you got to have that outlet. Gotta have that outlet. But y'all flood my comment. What do y'all think about DMX's story on how he got hooked on crack, was betrayed by his older brother, 250 capital G, rooted in music TV? I'm gone.